How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Zwift race. This is, what is this? Stage 5. Stage 5 of Zwift's monthly ZRacing series. This is the Flat is Fast month of January 2025, and this is the Fan Flats, so the Richmond course. And yeah, I am coming off a win on stage 4, which, yeah, I was super excited about. So I kind of came into this race thinking, well, not thinking that I was going to win, but thinking, kind of going off of a high from last week. So I was super excited about that. Did not expect that win. So I think I had to kind of curb my expectations a bit going into this race. But I jumped up in my racing score. And if you haven't seen that video, by the way, I'll stick it up one of these places, one of the corners, and you can kind of go see that. But I had a different strategy in that one. I wanted to take off early at the end, just because I didn't think I could outsprint anybody. In this one, I didn't really go in with any kind of plan, so I did want to stick with the pack through basically the whole race. So I did kind of want it to end up as a bunch at the end, just to kind of see how like a pure sprint would go for me. So my plan was to try to mark some attacks, and I did successfully do that, actually, which was good to see. I do close down a couple of attacks, and you'll see a lot of people, it seems like they'll attack at the line through each lap. So at the intermediate sprints, at the end of each lap, they will try to kind of put in a little bit of attack. But yeah, I kind of went into this race thinking, trying to conserve as much energy as possible, just to see what kind of sprint I could throw at the end. So that was the plan. And again, let's see. So the categories. So this one is the I'm gonna mess this up, I'm sure, but Zwift kind of changed their racing score brackets. So this is a zone 2. So last week, zone 2 was it 330 to 450, I think, racing scores, 330 to 450. Yeah. And last week I started the race at 430 something, and that win boosted me up to exactly 450. So I thought that I was going to have to switch categories, but turns out it did allow me to enter the same category again for this race. So this is the zone 2 is 330 to 450, and I am at 450. So I mean, if it's going to let me do it, I'm going to do it. I don't think it's unfair, but you can kind of be your own judge. I felt slightly uncomfortable being right at that limit, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's gonna let me do it. Like I said, I'll go ahead and do it. So I started at exactly 450. So I did feel, I felt a little uncomfortable, but that also meant I felt marked, because I don't know how you do this, but some people look and see the racing scores beforehand. I guess you could see who's pre-registered, because I've seen people mention sometimes oh, so and so's got this score, and I don't know how they see them, because you can't see them on the little mini list on the right. But anyway, so I felt a little marked, a little uncomfortable, but yeah, I was able to go ahead and just register for this one. So I did. Now obviously the goal is to win. So 2 wins in a row would be awesome, and we'll see see how that turns out. I have done this course a couple of times before. and one race last year in the same series last year, the Flat is Fast series. Was in the B category then. And I got dropped by the group on that little rise. So every lap there's like a little uphill rise that you gotta push it for, and then there's the sprint at the end. So I did look back last year, and yeah, I did get dropped on that little rise last year, probably on like the second lap or something. So I finished about 45 seconds back from the leaders. But yeah, we'll see if we can hang on for this race. Let's see. So there's about a little over 40 people in the race, 42-ish, which seems to be average for this time of day that I've been doing. Is about the same last week. And this is like a Friday morning race. I think the evening races generally have a little bit more just because people are more active. But this is, yeah, Friday morning. And let's see. So what else happens? I mean, not a whole lot happens, I think, in the race. Like I said, I do cover some attacks, or try to cover some attacks, and do kind of try to make it a point to stick together. So we're coming up on the finishing straight here, and I've also done a couple of like workout type runs for this course, and I know that the intermediate sprint point here with that green marker on the right is probably a little too late to start your sprint. You have to kind of start to ramp it up like before the turn. So I was kind of thinking about this through each lap. So kind of thinking when to time that sprint. So give it kind of some thought each lap. So there's 3 laps total. But you'll see even now, like the first time through, people are kind of pushing off the front a bit here. I wasn't that worried about an attack like this, but in the future, in the next couple of laps, I do try to pull those back, and I have some help too. I think everybody wants it to end as a bunch, because the flat ones, often do end as bunches. So, all right, what I will do, and let's see. Oh, so I'll go through some numbers here real quick. Let's see. So I average for the whole race, I average about 3.4 watts per kilo, which is a little less than last week. But like I said, I do kind of try to make it a point to conserve some energy in the pack here. And I mean, I guess that means I do a good job. So I average 213 watts. Last week I averaged 220. So yeah, I mean, I think I do a pretty good job of conserving that energy. And I was pretty consistent with the 25 and then the 1 minute powers, just a tad less than last week, which was, it's pretty good to see. So what I can do, so we'll compare it to the last time I did this race. So last time I did this race was January 2024, so a year ago, and Fan Flats. And I also averaged 3.4 watts per kilo at 214 watts. So in the B category, I was just about the same average power. I don't manage a sprint because, I was dropped probably, half to 3/4 of the way through. So I wasn't in the sprint. But the, overall average power was about the same, which is probably expected, because but I do also feel that last year averaging the same power, I was like dead, like absolutely dead. As like I said, I was dropped from that group, so I was like done. I was pushing it super hard at this same average power, and now a year later, same average power, and I thought it was pretty chill, actually. So for most of the race, I was, pretty chill, pretty relaxed. So I think, that's a good sign. Either I'm learning how to race a little better, or my fitness is a bit better, or a little bit of both, probably. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty relaxed, I think, most of the race. Like I said, a couple of attacks, but yeah, pretty good. So what I can do, I'll go ahead and speed it up here, and then I will go ahead and pick it up maybe about a mile or so to go, and we'll take a look. Well, maybe a little more than a mile. So we'll look at the hill going in. So yep, stick around for just a few minutes, and we'll zoom ahead. Okay, and we're back. So we are last lap, a little over a mile left, mile and a half-ish, and kind of coming into the little bit of a rise here. So there's a little bit of a slope up, and if you notice, kind of each lap, you know, this is where people pick up a bit. So you gotta just maintain the intensity through this little rise. And here, a couple of people do pick it up a bit more than they would have on the last lap. So there's a guy in the red jersey up here that I'm kind of marking. He's been active, so I'm sort of just trying to keep him in touch. But for the most part, the group is together. There's a couple. I think there's over 20 in this front group. You know, maybe 25 or so in this front group, and I've really tried to stay either in the group or towards the front, and I think I've done pretty good job of that. You can see my heart rate's high, so like 181, 182 ish, which up until a few weeks ago I would have said like I'm dead, but recently the heart rate has been a bit, maybe not a bit higher, but I have seen it spike, higher than I thought was my average. So, that I don't know if that's worrying. I don't know if it's good. I have no idea. But from what I'm thinking is it means that I'm just able to push myself a bit more. So, yeah, I think mental pushing. But anyway, so the last straightaway here, and like I was saying before, I know that you need to ramp it up before, like right before this like 180-degree turn, this U-turn down here. So I want to stay on the front, not first, but towards the front, and just try to keep up basically, and you'll see. I do see somebody go very early. and I think it's a bit too soon, but yeah, let's see. See what happens. Okay, so there we go. So one guy goes now, which would have been me last week. That was my plan last week. So I don't start to sprint yet, but I do start ramping it up. So I'm trying to time this sprint really well. So I start to ramp it up, and you see somebody else go. And at this point, I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to be able to catch him, but I am ramping it up, and you'll see I'm still struggling. So I'm still not sprinting quite yet, and then I hit it. So I hit it right before the green marker, and I start my sprint. And I'm really thinking at this point that I'm not going to be able to catch the guy in the front, but it does seem like he started too early and he died. So at the line, I just managed to grab him. This guy actually on the left almost hits me, but 2 weeks in a row. Pulled out the win on that one barely by a tenth of a second. And yeah, feeling really good about that one. I think I previously didn't think that I was like a pure bunch sprinter, and I'm not really. I think I just really timed that really perfectly. Caught the guy that took off too early, and just held off the second place guy. So yeah, really pleased with the timing on that one. I'm excited. That was definitely a good one. But what it does mean is my racing score goes up. So I think up to 262 now, 262. So getting to 500, which is exciting. But also it means I have to move up to the next category. So the next races will be in the next zone up or the next group up, and much harder. So I'm ready to be dropped for a while. So thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.